Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Ratchet and Clank Free Up Your Arsenal Part 2. We're still on Florona. We're going to be taking on these waves of bugs and all sorts of creatures. Also, we could find that mysterious beast we spawned on the Solana Galaxy's version of the National Geographic Channel. Or maybe it was the Discovery Channel. I don't know. I haven't watched the National Geographic Channel in years. I remember they parodied it in Ape Escape Free when they had National Ape. It was like some sort of nature channel kind of thing. Remember when I used to hate satellite TV back in the 2000s? Where my mom used to brag about saying, well, we get the National Geographic Channel, and you can't get that with just any old regular cable or regular antenna. Yeah, but it's a National Geographic Channel. Do you really think a kid is interested in the National Geographic Channel? It's not for kids, it's just boring stuff that kids don't really give a crap about. I mean, yeah, they've had some good stuff on that channel, but it's not really a kids channel at all, so that's why I'd rather play video games instead. This is a lot more fun than watching anything on TV these days. And oh look, I think we're finally going to come across the creature. It's going to say, hey Ratchet, there's a monkey, a saru, because saru I think is monkey in Japanese, on your back. You're thinking, where is it? It's like, yeah, he's right there. And oh look, it's the beast. What is this thing? Is he a monkey? Is he some sort of witch doctor? Is he some sort of thing that has that Aku Aku mask from Crash Bandicoot on his head? Well, he's gonna put us through a Crash Bandicoot-like 3D platforming challenge where we're gonna be walking the path of death. This is why I often consider Ratchet and Clank to be a sole successor to Crash Bandicoot, because of these little platforming challenges they give us. We're gonna be walking around and jumping on these obstacles through a preset track, and they have to like jump, and you could glide, and then if you stand on the platforms for too long, they fall to the lava pit, and then we dodge rocks and boulders, but we fight enemies. Sounds just like Crash Bandicoot. Only we're playing as a monkey from Ape Escape, and we have weapons, and we have a wrench that we could use to kill off all these enemies. Yeah, a wrench. Maybe that's why my babysitter used to call this game a wrench game. Remember I had a babysitter who used to watch over me back in the day? Remember she used to love watching me play this Ratchet and Clank, and this one specifically, she thought it was like the funniest thing ever, seeing Ratchet and Clank. A lot of people loved Ratchet and Clank. It was such a fun... This game definitely is a comedy, I would say. These are some of the funniest games I've played. Some of the other some of the best comedy games I've also played would be like Rayman Free. That was a pretty good comedy video game. I love comedy, and this game also focuses on comedy too, and it also has, you know, the best kinds of platforming challenges. Look at that. Another Crash Bandicoot-like thing where you just get flattened by the boulder. But we still got some health. I think we've got a free health refill. Now we're gonna go against this guy that lives out in the jungle man, jungle boy, whatever you want to call him. For some reason, he's part of the president's plan to destroy Dr. Nefarious or to have this war on the galaxy somehow. Oh look, it's Captain Quark. Things like, yeah, Captain Quark. This is what became of Captain Quark since the last game. A convicted criminal, and now he just lives in the jungle like a loner with all the monkeys and all the woodland creatures everywhere. What a real fall from grace. Going from being one of the galaxy's greatest superheroes to doing sleazy con man work in the previous game, and now it's this. This is a jungle man. Good thing he's pathetically weak. He's no match for a shock blaster or a shock cannon, whatever it's called. Look, I remember this was such an incredible experience. I remember being on the edge of my seat. Alright, well, like, jump and shoot, jump and shoot, jump and shoot, and jump and shoot. Well, Captain Quark would throw his boomerang thing, and I'd be like jumping at him and shooting at him, like jump, shoot. I mean, it was such an exhilarating experience way back in the day. I still think it's pretty impressive today. Of course, it's very easy now that I'm an expert gamer. I can beat almost any game these days. There aren't very many games that I can't beat. They right now defeated Captain Quark, and somehow we caused him to have amnesia. He has no idea who he is. He's just scratching his armpits like a mindless ape that he is. He was kind of an ape before in the previous games. I guess it makes sense he would resort to something like this. So we're gonna take him back to this. We're not taking it back anymore. We're taking him to the Starship Phoenix, which is pretty much the main hub world of this game. Yeah, this game actually has a hub world where you can it's like the main hub world where you can like explore the different, you just really explore the different training levels, and there's this video game system there. There's an armor vending machine there too. It might be the only armor vending machine in the game that I know of. Because you only buy armor from certain vending machines, but we're not going to buy any armor yet. Armor is expensive, and we really need to save our bolts for when we really need it. There's also living quarters there. And there's like a containment and there's like a containment habitat there that we're going to be keeping Captain Quark out until we get him to regain his memory. Or until his memory comes back. Starship Phoenix. I don't think that's what that really says, but that's what this is called in the American version. It's going to be introduced to the place, like seeing how big it is, and they're really trying, and the people in Insomniac Games are really trying to push that this isn't just what we saw in the first two games. This is something like very new. This is one of the main sell points of the game. You never played a Ratchet and Clank game with this before, and we've never played a Ratchet and Clank game with this stuff in it since, except for Deadlock. That's a spin-off game. Look, there's a gaming system here. It looks like a toaster. It looks like frickin' Talkie Toaster. I keep getting the idea that it's gonna offer me a waffle or some pancakes or maybe even a muffin. Then Ratchet's like, ooh, would you marry me? He's clearly simping for her, but she wouldn't date monkeys. Because he's probably pretty ugly. She wouldn't date an ugly monkey like him. And there's like a whole like entertainment room there and all that. I just have to go take Quark to his cage, and then we could just tell you more stuff about this. This game makes heavy use of hiragana and katakana text. It doesn't seem to use kanji letters at all, which is why I find these letters to be somewhat easy to read. I don't know if that has something to do with a limitation of Japanese keyboards. This traditional Japanese keyboard supposedly can only type in hiragana and katakana text. Or maybe it's just because they, I don't know, maybe they thought this game was for kids. The game probably is considered a kid's game in Japan. Because, well, I mean, a lot of stuff is considered kid stuff in Japan. Star Wars is likely considered kid stuff in Japan. So is Dragon Ball Z. So you got Captain Quark in his little habitat prison there. Gonna give him a banana. I'm sure the ape Ratchet we're playing as is probably gonna love to, or that ape we're playing is probably wishing he had that banana. See how monkeys love bananas in the Ape Escape games? There was even a gadget in Ape Escape 2 that was a downright banana that made banana sense. Yeah, I remember when I did a Let's Play of that game. That was where the good old days, when I did a Let's Play of that game under the pseudonym of Ryari Fushimitsu, a name that probably wouldn't even really exist in Japanese. But then again, it was a European game that had Japanese names in it, so what do you expect? They're just gonna tell us to go to the bridge of the Starship Phoenix and give us an opportunity to explore the place. We're not gonna do any of that. We don't need to do training. We're seasoned venerable warriors. We don't need any training. And all you do get from completing all the training, all of the titanium bolt, which you could use to buy ever skins in the game. And we're not gonna buy any more skins in the game because we have the best skin already, the monkey from Ape Escape. And we're gonna see the Sasha, whatever her name is commanding thing. She's gonna say father, and then we're gonna find out that she's the president's daughter. Her father's the president, and the capital planet of Marcadia is under attack. Marcadia makes you crave one of those macadamia nut cookies for some reason. And we're gonna be meeting the main villain of the game. It's Dr. Nefarious. I find it kind of ironic that in the American version of this game, he's voiced by Armin Shimmerman, and he goes against a superhero named Captain Quark. And we also find out that, Armin Shimmerman was also in a show called Star Trek Deep Space Nine. In that show, he voiced a character that was named Quark. How ironic is that? I didn't realize this game had so many connections to Star Trek Deep Space Nine. He also sounds a little bit like Dr. Wily from Mega Man Powered Up. I don't think it's the same voice actor. Well, of course not the same voice actor, because this is the Japanese version, the Japanese game, where it's completely entirely dubbed in Japanese, with Japanese voice actors I've probably never heard of anywhere else, simply because I don't think I live in Japan. So that's probably why I don't know about that stuff. So they're gonna send me to Marcadia, the capital planet, so I could go there and dish out some justice against the Tyrannoid invaders and rescue the president and rescue the galactic Bill Clinton wannabe, and then just gonna tell us some more useless information that we don't already know. You can already disable, I think, by pressing the triangle button. Yeah, some pretty good advice. Just telling us stuff we already know. Just doing long jumps, like classic speedrunning technique. You do get the jetpack as well too, the jetpack Clank. I don't really like using that one as much. I prefer the helipack Clank for some reason. I know, I just like it more. We're gonna go to Marcadia. The game's gonna autosave as always. This game is gonna autosaves a lot, so if your game ever crashes, that's pretty good. I remember when I used to play this game on an older version of PCFX2. Whenever I would go to a vending machine and leave the vending machine, the whole game around me, the whole environment around me would break and collapse. And then it would be like impossible to play unless you're like Terry Garrett, where you can like figure out how to play the game just by listening to sounds. Yeah, that wasn't very good. I'm glad they fixed PCSX2, and now I'm playing on the newer PCSX2, the newest one. But I guess why has he done? I mean, I don't live in Japan. I don't think I'm expected to seriously buy a Japanese copy of this game, and I already own at least one American copy of the game. And this new PCF is really good at being an emulation machine, and my PS2 is getting in a rough shape. It's getting in a rougher shape. I remember a few months ago I was playing this game on my actual PS2. I was doing that challenge where you could like grind through the sewers and you could like collect so much stuff and then get the sewer crystals, and I got so many of them, and after I got so many, the game just froze on me and I lost all my progress. Yeah, my PS2 really is in a rough shape. That's my good PS2, my fat PS2, the trusty fat PS2, the one that never really let me down. I've had that PS2 for years, and it never defaced any of my games. We all know my slim PS2 defaced a lot of my games. We know what happened to that bastard, where I threw it off the edge of my balcony and then ripped out the ribbon that was scratching my discs. That's a good advisory to people that own slim PS2s. Don't own a slim PS2. At least if you are gonna have a slim PS2, just be careful about it. Those things could possibly ruin some of your favorite games. So I pretty much ripped that thing a new one and killed it, like what Jedi do to battle droids. You know, those were some funny times too. That was one of my favorite, funniest videos. Destroying the PS2. Then I mailed it to Kim Jong-un, and some kid asked me, "Ooh, did you really mail your PS2 to Kim Jong-un?" No, of course not. I don't think it's possible to mail stuff to Kim Jong-un. I don't think it's possible. I'll probably get executed if I do that. I don't even live in North Korea, and I'd get executed if I did that. I'm sure. I wonder if Kim Jong-un's ever played this game before, or if he even knows about it. This game did get released in South Korea, and that's how I got introduced to Korean video games. The Korean version of this game was the first Korean video game I've ever played. The reason why I played it was because I just wanted to play as this monkey from Ape Escape as Ape Ratchet, and some website I went to that I was getting my games from didn't have the Japanese version. I had to get the Korean version instead. Apparently it's so rare and valuable that a lot of Koreans don't even realize that that Korean version of the game exists. I guess that goes to show how famous and popular it was in South Korea, and so many people don't even know it exists. It's pretty much just the same as this, but it's in Korean. What do you expect? You really think we're going to make a different game for the Korean market? I mean, I know Gran Turismo 4 was slightly different in South Korea because they added a bunch of Hyundais, a bunch of different varieties of Hyundai cars into that game. But it's not really much, like, it doesn't really add an awful lot. I don't even like Hyundai that much. They have some of the highest def tools of cars around. That's why I despise Hyundai as much as I despise Chevy. This is Ray Phoenix, signing out.